Hey guys, as warmer weather approaches, I thought I would do a video series on buying your first home. So the first video is going to be on getting pre-approved. Do you need to talk to your realtor or your loan officer first? Well, really, it doesn't matter. I would prefer for you to talk to me first because I like to hook you up with rock stars loan officers that are definitely going to take care of you. What you're going to do is talk to the loan officers, and they're going to collect all your income information and credit information and give you an idea of what price point of home you can shop for. For the initial pre-approval, there'll be a few documents you want to have on hand, and then for the full qualification, you'll have more things that we'll talk about later. So you want to have your pay stubs from the last 30 days, your last 2 years of W-2 forms if applicable, last 2 months of your bank statements, your current mortgage statement if it applies, and a photo ID. For the initial pre-approval, there'll be a few documents you want to have on hand, and then for the full qualification, you'll have more things that we'll talk about later. So you want to have your pay stubs from the last 30 days, after your pre-approval, you're going to know the maximum amount that the bank will lend you. Then you're going to discuss with them to figure out what payments you're going to be actually comfortable with month to month. So once we know that, we can start shopping. Ideally, your realtor will want you to have some ideal neighborhoods or areas, a bed and bath count, maybe a square footage, or what kind of lot and special features you might need, like a fence or pool, etc., things like that. So then what we can do is start narrowing down your search. Once we find a few houses that we think you're going to like, we'll set up some private viewings and we'll go around town and go see these homes. All right, guys, so we've been shopping houses and we find the one. All right, it's time to submit an offer. So what do? Well, that's where I step in. I'm going to contact your loan officer, get a pre-approval letter for the amount that we're going to offer, and then I'm going to send you the documents. We're going to sign off on everything on the house and the offer, make sure it's all good to go. Then we're going to submit it. Ideally, our offer is accepted. We may have some counter offers back and forth. Again, I'll guide you through that. And once it's accepted, you're going to need an earnest money deposit ready to go. Typically, that's going to be $500 to $1,000. And what we're going to do is put that in with the offer to show we're serious. The earnest money will be deposited in either our brokerage or the listing brokerage's account and held there and then go towards your down payment. So you don't lose the money. It's purely just to show that it is a serious offer. All right, so our offer was accepted. We are now in a period called escrow, or you'll see that the house is pending. So now what we're going to do is have inspections done on the house, and the bank's going to order an appraisal. What the inspection is going to do is give you a rundown of the house and its current condition and all the things that are going on with it. Now, some of these things may appear to be negative, but a lot of things are just things that are happening in houses all over America. It's just so you know every little thing that is inside of that house. And then the appraisal is for the bank to make sure that you're not overpaying for the house. So they make sure that they're safe in their investment in you in giving you a mortgage. During this period, if something comes back on the inspection major that you or I didn't see, this will give you an opportunity to ask the sellers to get that fixed and or remove yourself from the transaction and receive your full earnest money deposit back. If the inspection comes back and they're willing to fix everything or the house is in acceptable condition for you and your lender, then it's time to move forward and set a closing date. So we've made it through the inspection and appraisal period, and now we're waiting on your lender to give you a clear to close. What are they going to need from you? Well, they're going to need all those documents they asked for the pre-approval and some. So I'm going to take you through a list of things you need to have ready to go. So again, you're going to need your pay stubs from the last 30 days again. You're going to need your last 2 years of W-2 forms, last 2 months of your bank statements, have that, your photo ID, last 2 years of full tax returns, a homeowner's insurance contract. So what you're going to do is once we get a house under contract, you're going to have a copy of that. We're going to get you in contact with an insurance broker, or you can contact someone who you know who sells home insurance, and you're going to send them the contract. Then they're going to quote it and then send you a contract that says, hey, if you buy this house, here is your insurance, and we'll get that to the title company to make sure that you have home insurance the day you close. And now we're almost to the finish line. Here's some things to avoid and be ready for closing day. Don't buy a new vehicle right now. Don't quit or change jobs right now. Avoid major purchases. All right. Do not delay getting any of those documents to your lender, despite how many times you sent them. Keep sending them when they ask. Do not miss any monthly payments or anything, and don't co-sign on any new debt. Okay. Those things will avoid any red flags being thrown up. So that way you submit the documents the least amount of times possible and get on to your closing date. Now, what's going to happen is a few days before our closing date, your bank's going to send you a clear to close and a time to show up. I'm going to be there. Your lender may or may not be there. We'll be at the title company. You'll sign away and get keys to your brand new home. Congrats.